Good morning. In this video, I will be talking about one of my favorite hair and skin moisturizers, coconut oil. Now, this is what we will need to make our skin and hair conditioner using coconut oil with essential oils. I typically use just the El Cheapo coconut oil from the grocery store. I've used it for years. I've never had any issues with it. There's no need to purchase really expensive conditioners made with coconut oil, and you can just make your own at home for very little money, actually. Now, also, with the coconut oil, we'll need some type of essential oils. I am making this with lavender. It's my favorite because lavender is good for relieving stress. And it's also, I've read on the internet that it's good for the immune system. And since lavender is a bit strong by itself, I typically like to mix it with at least one other essential oil. And for this one I'm using, because it's what I have right now, the lavender mixed with tangerine. But I will, at the end of the video, I plan to put a source on the internet where you can go to read all about essential oils and pick the ones that you would like to mix with coconut oil, the ones that are good for the immune system. And they have all sorts of good health benefits. For example, tangerine is supposed to be antifungal, antibacterial, and good for like any kind of skin issue, like maybe dandruff or acne, so I've read. Of course, you should do your own research. Now, in order to mix these, we'll need a 1 cup measuring cup and a 1/4 teaspoon, where are you? 1/4, well, something to measure 1/4 of a teaspoon of essential oil. And then, of course, a container to put all of this in. And no, this is not going to be gelato, ice cream, whatever you want to call this stuff. I use this container because it's the perfect size. This is a 1 pint container. Of course, after you eat all the good stuff out of there, you can use it because the lid comes off and on very easily. And you can, it's very easy to stick your fingers and hands down inside this container to scoop whatever amount you need of your coconut oil to moisturize your skin. We begin by scooping 1 cup of coconut oil into the microwave safe container. Doesn't have to be exact. And then we're going to melt this in the microwave. And it doesn't take coconut oil very long to melt at all. So typically kind of sit and watch it. Don't want to overheat it. As soon as it gets melted down to where it can be mixed with the essential oils, we want to take it out. So I pressed 1, and I believe it's only gone for about a half a minute. And it's definitely well on its way to being melted. If I were to just let it sit like that, it would probably just melt on its own, especially if I stirred it. But I'm going to go ahead and push go again and let it melt a bit longer. about there. Now, as you can see, when the coconut oil melts, it might be below the 1 cup measuring mark, but that's okay. As I said previously, it doesn't have to be, it's not exact. And actually, if it's a little bit less than a cup after it melts, that's good, because this 1 pint container, by the time I do this twice and pour it into this container, if it were up to the 1 cup mark, it would end up being a little bit too much for this container. So if it's a little bit less, that's actually good. Now, we need to put our 1/4 cup. Let's try that again. 1/4 teaspoon of lavender essential oil, and drip, drip, drip. Sometimes it takes a little bit of patience for this to fill. And once again, this doesn't have to be exact, and this actually maybe a little more than 1/4 teaspoon. And we stir that in, and then pour this into our gelato container. And now we're going to repeat this process, except the second time around we will put in 1/4 teaspoon of the lavender with tangerine essential oil, something that will it helps with skin issues, but more than anything else, the main reason that I like to put the essential oils in with the coconut oil is because of the smell. If you just rub plain coconut oil on your skin, it's very good for a moisturizer. And in fact, I started out doing that, but then I found that, you kind of end up smelling like you've been sitting in a frying pan or something for a while. It's just not a very pleasant scent. But when we mix the essential oils in, it's good for the skin, good for the immune system. It can help with stress, and it definitely makes it just smell so much better. So now we need to go ahead with the second cup of coconut oil in, which I will put tangerine essential oil, and we will mix that all into our plastic container. Here we have our second cup of melted coconut oil. As you can see, this time it actually turned out, after melting, to be a little above the 1 cup measuring mark, but that's okay. As I said, it doesn't have to be exact, and it should, when mixed with the previous cup, come out about the right amount for this container. Now we need to measure again our 1/4 teaspoon of essential oil, and actually I'm kind of getting it all inside the cup instead of in the spoon here, but fortunately this does not have to be exact, as I have said previously. Now this is my 1/4 teaspoon of lavender and tangerine essential oil, and as you can see, we're mixing that in, and now we're going to take this cup and pour it in, and we don't want to overflow, but turned out just about perfect, pretty good. And then of course you want to do a little more stirring on that. Make sure that all of the essential oils are mixed thoroughly with the coconut oil. And then the next step would be, you can put the lid on it or not, and you can just kind of let it sit overnight in a cool place. If you were in a hurry and you wanted to speed it up, you can put it in the refrigerator. And what I would suggest, not too long ago, my grandson was in the bathroom where I typically keep this so that I can moisturize after getting out of the shower, and he looked over and apparently he recognized this container, what he would call ice cream, and asked me, "Grandma, why do you have food in your bathroom?" And because it turns white when it gets hard, I guess it did look a little bit like ice cream. And I typically don't have young people around my residence, but I would suggest marking through. Take a marker, or maybe just cover with another label or something to make sure that there is no mistaking that this is not ice cream. This is coconut oil mixed with essential oils, and to be used only as a skin or hair moisturizer. And here is the finished product. Once it hardens, it turns white, and it is ready to use. If you would like, you can leave a comment below, or you can send a private comment to my email address, which is hillaryhasparkinsons@gmail.com. I've also left the titles of 2 YouTube videos, but you can watch if you would like to learn more about essential oils. And once again, thank you for watching.